All right. All right. So it seems like we're going. It seems like it's working. So all right, whatever. Good morning. It is I, your host Pogo Kiddo, with yet another episode of Red Stone Lapis Lazuli. Oh, hey, all right. Let's see if this works. This is a test. This is a test. Check it out. Oh no! It does it again every time. Crash, crash, boom, boom, boom. Every time. Every time. I just did it a bunch of times and it wasn't crashing, so I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what the deal is. I have no idea. I don't know. So, maybe it's something to do with like when I'm streaming at the same time as switching back and forth because it did it before just fine. It was only when I like tried to switch back to Minecraft while I was streaming that I crashed. Hey, Priority Gaming Official. Hello, good morning. Welcome to my show. I just started it. Priority Gamer Official. Priority. The priority. So, if you look, I haven't done too much. I got a little watchtower and a beacon going. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. What's going on here though, what you can't quite see is the terraforming. All the terraforming that I've done. So Priority Gaming Official, who's typing in my chat right now, he says it's nighttime here. May I ask you, Priority Gaming Official, where is here for you? Look at all the holes are gone. That's what I'm trying to show you. All the holes are gone. I did all the work to cover up all the holes so a horse wouldn't fall in while you're riding. I'm not quite done, right? I still have some more holes to fill in. India. So Priority Gaming Official is in India. Oh wow. How neat. How nice. Well, welcome to my show. I remember you from a little while ago, but there's a bunch of people that come in, so it's kind of hard to remember who's who because there's no faces to connect to. So yeah, let's talk about stuff. Look at this beautiful plains. I've spent a lot of time. It took a lot of time, a lot of dirt to cover up the holes, and sometimes it's a little bit ugly. Uh, but it's getting there, man. It's getting there. And so the whole this is a ginormous hole. I can't cover this one up. That one's gonna stay there. Maybe I can cover it up, but I don't know. That's a lot of work. For what? Hello, Wise Mystic Tree. Welcome to my show. 2 people watching my show just as I start. That's pretty cool. I am well, Wise Mystic Tree, who is typing in chat. How are you, Wise Mystic Tree? I am on YouTube for 14 years. That's right. I haven't always been streaming. I used to upload videos from Japan when I lived in Japan. That's why I first got YouTube a long time ago. Yeah. But then I learned how to stream and technology moved along. So yeah, it's pretty nice now. Ooh, look at this shiny pyramid. I love the iron blocks. Aw, so nice. And then here, let's check out that watchtower. So the other thing I did was, you see the road used to go this way, and I had to like switch over here. So yeah, dude, check it out. Now I made the road go straight instead of the road turning. That way now it doesn't go to the bridge. It doesn't go to the bridge. It goes this way. It goes this way now. To where though? Nowhere. I haven't made a bridge yet. It hasn't gone anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere yet. But it wants to go over there. It wants to live over there. So I have to work on this more. Play a little bit more. But you know what? I'm laying the foundation because Yeah, this is all hilly. This is all uneven. There were big holes everywhere. It was just like not very conducive to building. So I took time and worked it all out, and now I've got a nice flat area to build stuff on. So I think that was like the key, is to make an area where I can build. And I want to build it like up here or over here, like on top of this area, and then make a path down to the water, I'm thinking. So that's what these long things are here. So the long tracks are to connect my base with villages. So I got this village here going. Little train station, and then it takes you on even further. So Priority Gaming Official says they have an amazing opportunity for me. Or an idea that would change my life spiritually and economically. That sounds kind of crazy, man. So then the train line goes to this village. So I have two villages to choose from. And then this little janky train station goes to this way now. So Wise Mystic Tree asks if I made a totem farm. I made a raid farm, but it's not like a super good one. It's not very good. And look, it's connected to a third village. All three villages are connected, and it's connected in a loop. Because then it goes to here. This is spawn. That's where you spawn in at. That's my villager training hall right here, but it goes past that, under the bridge. Ow. Underneath all this stuff. And then it goes back to my train station. So it's a big loop. I'm connected to all the villages. And all these other places too. And yeah, this is like a train station, dude. You select where you want to go. And if it's nowhere, it goes nowhere, right? Like, it's like I select that one. Oh, that's a nothing. That's a nothing place. Well, look what happens. I'm going to go to my nothing place, and it's just going to send me right back. So I have to pick an actual location. Like the Warded Grove. That's a nice trip. Check out the Warded Grove. Whee! Let's go on a ride. So yeah, thank you for hanging out. So over here in the United States, it's like holiday season. a lot of different religions and peoples are having their holidays now. The Indian holiday of the Festival of Lights. I forgot the name of it, or like Diwali or something. I don't know. I don't quite know. But yeah, that one came into being, and or that one just came. We just had Hanukkah, and then Christmas is coming up, so it's pretty nice. Ta-da! Look at this nice Zen garden I have. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see what's going on, but I'm at a giant pagoda. Oh, the Shinto thing. Yeah, and for the Japanese, they really dig New Year's, so that's coming up too. So, crazy. Yeah. And then right there, you can kind of see the heart. So yeah, here's my base. All right. The totem farm. I did make a totem farm, but to get to there, you have to like do a bunch of stuff. Like you would need to have, well, anyways, no one cares about the totem farm. No one cares about like the opportunity to greatly change my spiritual and economic stuff. That's all right. What we're here for, what I'm here for, is to tell you, my audience, about what's going on in the world. I found out that it feels to me that a great part of the problems of Americans is that many Americans are not aware of what's going on in the world, so that they can be easily manipulated since they don't know what's going on in the world around them. Like, I, this is all anecdotal, right? Because I didn't like actually write it down, but like yesterday on Facebook, um, there was a story about like gun violence in Portland, and like Russian trolls were trying to turn it into like a racial thing, and but you could tell they're trolls. You could tell they're Russians because they use big words, but they don't use them correctly. uh, but they're trying to trigger people. You can tell that they're trying. The whole point is to trigger. They're not actually arguing any kind of point. They don't take a side. Like Russian trolls don't actually take a side. All they want to do is trigger people into getting upset. So the entire way of talking is all revolving around getting people angry, trying to get people to like explain themselves and then make fun of them. Yeah. So we're definitely in election season now. For sure. The Russians are back. I don't well they never left, right? They never left. It worked in 2016. It didn't quite work in 2020, but they're going to try again in 2024. Donald Trump is already like calling out to them to help out. He's already calling foreign nations to help him out. How is Donald Trump calling the foreign nations to help him out? Well, as you know, Donald Trump is like really hurting for money. He's pretty broke. He his lawyer Rudy Giuliani just got was just found guilty of defamation and has to pay like almost $150 million. Rudy Giuliani is broke. That guy is not going to have any more money. He's done for. So with no money, you can't hire lawyers. And if you can't hire lawyers, then you can't delay cases anymore. So Rudy Giuliani is in big trouble. And Donald Trump is not far behind Rudy Giuliani. Everything he does, he's trying to make money off of. He tried to make money off the presidency. Yeah, it was ridiculous. He hired he picked all his kids to join into his government, Donald Trump. So he hired all his kids and put them into high-level positions in government. And then all his kids used their influence to make money for the family. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. You know that whole thing that Republicans are doing with Hunter Biden? That's called projection. Like they're accusing Hunter Biden of what Donald Trump's kids have done. And that way, you never talk about Donald Trump's kids. You only talk about the scandal that the Republicans bring up. Well, Republicans did it first, guys. Jared Kushner did it first. Like, remember when I should have kept that meme. Remember when Donald Trump what's it called? When Jared Kushner so Jared Kushner was denied security clearance, and then Donald Trump as president overruled the government to allow Jared Kushner to have top secret clearance. Then Jared Kushner became buddy with Mohammed bin Salman, and Mohammed bin Salman pumped Jared Kushner for information. And so Jared Kushner used his connections inside the U.S. government to give information to Mohammed bin Salman. And for his trouble, Mohammed bin Salman gave Jared Kushner $2 billion. So that's pretty crazy. I can't really hear Hunter Biden because Jared Kushner is so loud. So like I think the big story is Hunter Biden didn't do the bad thing that Jared Kushner did, and it makes Republicans upset. They won't stop talking about Hunter Biden because they don't want you to talk about Jared Kushner. who was actually in government while his father was actually president. So it just seems dumb. It just seems so stupid. Like I don't like. It just seems so stupid. Why does it seem so stupid? Well, because like any rational human being can understand that Donald Trump is a con man who's a bad guy. So it makes me really, really angry that so many Americans are on board with Donald Trump. And like they're not like a monolithic entity. They're not like the same thing. A Donald Trump supporter is not the same thing. Some Donald Trump supporters are white supremacists and Nazis. Okay, yeah, right? No problem. For sure. You know, some Trump supporters are Confederates. They want to overthrow the government. Okay, I understand that. That makes sense. But some Trump supporters are like abuse victims. They're literally abuse victims. They've been beat down so long and so hard that Donald Trump looks like daddy to them. And so they react to Donald Trump like daddy. For real. It's not a rational thing. They're not like thinking about it. They have an emotional connection to Donald Trump like their daddy. Like Donald Trump is their daddy. It's weird, dudes. It's weird. And I'm not making it up. I'm not like exaggerating. Here, look at. Understand, Donald Trump fully intends to become a dictator. He's never changed his mind. That was his intent in 2016. That was his intent in 2021 when he tried to literally overthrow the government with a mob, and that's his intent for 2024. He has never stopped trying to overthrow the government. Listen to what he says. He was on Hannity. He did a town hall, and in the town hall with Hannity, he said, "I'm going to be a dictator on day one." Donald Trump promises to be a dictator on day one, the first day Donald Trump will overthrow the government and become a dictator. So people are like freaking out about that, going, holy shit, Donald Trump is actually out there saying he's going to overthrow the government and become a dictator on the first day. So what does Donald Trump do? He doubles down. He says, yes, you heard me correctly. I'm going to be a dictator on the very first day. Listen to him.
The day you see they're calling me a dictator.
No, dude. You called yourself a dictator. You said you're going to be a dictator on the first day, Donald Trump. See, that's what Donald Trump does. Right? He uses the gift of gab in order to bamboozle people, because in real time, it's really hard. In real time, it's really hard for people to process what it is that Donald Trump is doing. Donald Trump is a con man. So he's really good at using the gift of words to keep people like kind of like on the edge. He never really comes to a point. He's always boliviating and shifting from one topic to the other, always to keep people off balance. It's terrible. And then he mischaracterizes. So he himself said that Donald Trump is going to be a dictator on day one. So what does that look like?
The day you see they're calling me a dictator.
No, Donald Trump, you said you were going to be a dictator on day one. It's not them, it's you, motherfucker. It's you. You said you were going to be dictator. But that's how Donald Trump lies, right? It's so easy for Donald Trump to lie. Now, let's keep going.
You say Trump wants to be a dictator.
Well, yeah, of course he does. You said you want to be a dictator. You said, I'm going to be a dictator on the very first day. That's what you said. You said it. You said it. See, that's the fascist thing. Fascists always project their thing on other people. It doesn't work. I gotta open Studio like this. Do. Ega osaku kimi itotsu nanarete tai. Yeah, there we go. Remove. Okay. So Donald Trump is projecting his own crime onto other people, because that's what Donald Trump does. That's what fascists do. They project their crimes onto other people. So here, let's keep going. And he lies about everything. He's the one who said he wants to be a dictator, and he's trying to put it on other people.
Trump wants to be, and you know how it started? He asked me a question. Please say you don't want to be a dictator. Say, no, I won't say that.
No, I won't say that. Please say you don't want to be a dictator. And Donald Trump said, no, I won't say that. So who's the one that wants to be a dictator? It's not us saying it. It's this guy. It's this guy right here, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is saying that he just told you. He said the story. He said in the story, he said, please say you don't want to be a dictator. And Donald Trump said, no, I won't say that. Because he wants to be a dictator. He's trying to say only we are saying it, but that's Donald Trump saying it. That motherfucker, dude. You see how slick he is with the words? Donald Trump knows how to work people who are like into him. He knows how to mess with their minds. Side.
I want to be a dictator for one day.
He wants to be a dictator for one day. He wants to be a dictator for one day. It's just that it's every one day. Every day Donald Trump wants to be a dictator. So understand, Donald Trump fully intends to overthrow the United States. He is the enemy of the United States. Donald Trump is an enemy of the United States. Understand that Donald Trump is the enemy of the United States. Now, the problem is some people are white supremacists who are fully on board with overthrowing the Confederates, right? The United States never truly defeated the Confederacy. We still have Confederates in this country who want to overthrow the government. Yeah, absolutely. So here, I'm going to show you a picture, some videos of some Confederates. Donald Trump had a rally, I think in Pennsylvania, and a bunch of Confederates came out to support Donald Trump's attempt to overthrow the government. Here's what Confederates look like.
Now, normally I know you probably wouldn't in America.
So this is, do you see what Confederates look like? Like, they look like regular, okay, some of them are wearing like
America,
Trump
but consider
shit. Some of them are wearing Trump stuff, right? But generally, Confederates are camouflaged with an American flag. They try to hide themselves, the Confederates. And then, but they all wear these red hats. So you can identify Confederates a lot of the times by when they wear a red hat that says "Make America Great Again," because what they want to do is they want to overthrow the government and install white supremacy rule. That's what they mean by making America great again. Is they want to install the Confederacy and overthrow the United States. That's what they mean. Fully intend. Donald Trump says he wants to be a dictator on day one, which is overthrow the American Constitution. He wants to overthrow the Constitution. So what do the Confederates think of when they're confronted with this reality that Donald Trump wants to overthrow the government?
Now, normally I know you probably wouldn't in America, but considering what they've done to this man, how many people here support day one dictator?
Yep, Confederates. Every one of them wants to overthrow the government. So remember January 6th? Every single one of those people supports January 6th. They attempt to overthrow the United States Constitution. So the Confederates, they're traitors. But they look pretty much like normal people unless you talk to them, or unless they're wearing like an obvious symbol that identifies them as a Confederate. Right? These are all Confederates. These are all traitors. Now, remember I told you, not every Trump supporter is a Confederate. Not every Trump supporter is a white supremacist. Some Trump supporters are like abuse victims. They've been so emotionally abused and gaslight, like so their brains have been so fucked that they look at Donald Trump as their daddy. It's an emotional thing. So you can't, like, it doesn't matter what daddy does. Daddy is always going to be daddy to them. So like it's an emotional sickness thing. Listen.
Dara and Doug, who I am told.
See, Dara and Doug, these guys are like abuse victims. They look at Donald Trump not as a presidential candidate, but they look at him as daddy. They get an emotional feeling from Donald Trump. Listen.
Flew from Phoenix, Arizona, all the way to New Hampshire.
They flew from Phoenix, Arizona, on a plane all the way to New Hampshire just to join in a Donald Trump rally. Why would they do that? Why would they fly across the country for a presidential candidate?
To see President Trump today. You guys, that is amazing. What brought you here, and why do you love President Trump so much to fly all the way across the country to see him?
Yeah, right. So, like, what is it about Donald Trump to these people that makes them compelling to fly across the whole country just to see him? What is it about Donald Trump? Is it his policies? Is it his ideas? Like, what is it that draws them? What is it?
I I've been following Trump since 2015. I started hearing his views on just the basic principles of America, and I believe in it. And
so he believes in overthrowing the Constitution. You see, he believes in Donald Trump being dictator on day one. So he wants to overthrow the Constitution. He absolutely believes in white supremacy. Well, I don't know if he believes in white supremacy. This guy here is an abuse victim. He's looking at Donald Trump as daddy. So listen to him. He thinks of Donald Trump as daddy.
He fights for us, and I want to fight for him 100%.
So he's basically pledging like allegiance to the Confederacy. Like he's a traitor. This guy's a traitor. He's like, yeah, I'm ready to overthrow the Constitution. Okay.
Amen.
Yeah.
See, those guys are all Confederates. So it's a big white supremacy group, right? These are all white supremacists hanging out.
Seems to really care when he's on stage, his presence of when he's.
Did you hear that? When he's on stage, his presence, he really cares. It's because it's purely a cult of personality. So these people are not looking at Donald Trump rationally. They're looking at him like a messiah figure, like a daddy who's going to save them and save all the white people and bring about white utopia.
He's talking to us, his patriots.
So the white people. Donald Trump is talking to the white people, the Confederates. So she understands implicitly that she's part of the white supremacist movement, and that Donald Trump isn't interested in the rest of America. He's only talking when he gives commands. He's giving commands to the white supremacists. These guys. Remember, Donald Trump already commanded his people to attack the polling stations in 2024 already. So it's the psychological component to draw people to the polling station, the election counting stations to attack them is already starting to happen. Just like in 2000, just like in 2020.
He loves us. He cares about what we do. He cares.
Donald Trump loves you? What? You see? That's an abuse victim. That's an abuse victim. She's got she looks at Donald Trump as a daddy. He loves us. Pfft, you're poor, dude. You don't mean anything to him.
About how sad we are. He cares.
Yeah, we all see how very sad you are. All you people, you white supremacists, are really, really sad. It's really kind of tragic that you guys are all white supremacists and like have turned your back on the United States. It's pretty sad. I agree.
He cares about the hungry. He cares about the.
He doesn't care about the hungry, dude. What? Remember, under his administration, he cut all sorts of social programs. Like, why would that? Like, what are you talking about? He hates the poor people. You could tell because when he was president, he cut all the programs for the poor people. Like, how? But the thing is that, remember, she's brainwashed. She doesn't care about facts. She cares about the feeling, what she feels like when she's in his presence. She's brainwashed, dude.
Fighting in the wars and all this other stuff. And who else can we vote for but Trump, to have a president who stands behind the people of the United States?
So the people she's talking about is the white people. So who else could she vote for who would join the white supremacists other than Donald Trump? Donald Trump is the perfect representative for Confederates. If you want to overthrow the government, if you want to overthrow the United States and overthrow the Constitution, Donald Trump is the guy you could vote for. And she wants to overthrow it, right? She's ready to destroy the United States for Donald Trump and white supremacy. And all these people, right? They're all like, remember, Adolf Hitler did not come to power through a violent coup. He didn't literally overthrow the government. He came into power because the people voted him in. That's why. So Donald Trump is taking the same route as Hitler. And he told the people, look, I'm going to overthrow the government. That's my whole point. On the first day, I'm going to overthrow the government. And she's like, yes, overthrow the Constitution. All these people are my enemy. And your enemy too, if you're an American. Yeah, they're all So basically, this cartoon is perfect. This cartoon is the perfect thing. Donald Trump is saying, I'm going to eat you. I'm going to be a dictator on day one. And all the Republican voters, if they're not Confederates, right? Like a Confederate is going to be like, yeah, part of the plan, overthrow the government so we can install white rule. That's a Confederate. But that woman, I don't think she's a full-on white supremacist. I think she's like a sheep. She's just like emotionally damaged, and she doesn't have a way to process that Donald Trump is a bad guy. She's like Stockholm syndrome type thing. Yeah, he's telling them, I'm going to overthrow the Constitution, and they're like, yeah, what a great guy. So, oh yeah, huh? Ah. Republicans and Hunter Biden, and Republicans and Jared Kushner. Yeah. This guy was in government. His dad was president. His dad overruled the Security Council to give him security clearance, and then he got $2 billion after giving information to another foreign government. He's all right. But this guy made like hardly any money, wasn't in government. His dad wasn't president when he did this thing. Like the Republicans are stupid. They're just stupid. I don't know, like they're really stupid. Here, listen to Chuck Grassley.
He said that his father was not financially involved in any way with his business. Do you accept that?
Chuck Grassley, Republican senator, like really, really old.
I'm going to take the same position I've taken since 2019, that all I can say is there's some indication of maybe some compromise.
Maybe some indication.
He said that.
Maybe some indication. Maybe some compromise. Maybe. Right? You can do that with anything. You can say maybe about anything. Like anything. You need. Let's get to the solid actual though. What do you actually have?
I'm going to take the same position I've taken since 2019. That all I can say is there's some indication of maybe some compromise.
Of maybe. Some indication of maybe.
With China particularly.
So maybe. There might be some indication of maybe something happening with China. Maybe.
I have no evidence of it, and I'm going to just follow the facts.
No evidence. Maybe Donald Trump is keeping an army of monkeys up his ass. Maybe Donald Trump is an alien from the lizard planet. Maybe Donald Trump is actually a drag queen. Maybe Donald Trump has 6 arms growing out of his ear that we can't see. Maybe. You see how stupid this game is? You can say maybe about anything. It's so dumb. What a dumb thing. That's why it's important to get down to actual. There's unlimited maybes. Only one actual. So I don't care about your maybes. I want your actual because there's only one. So yeah, that's Chuck Grassley playing the game. The word game. Because he can say maybe anything. Remember how I told you about how the Republicans use insinuation? Because they don't have truth on their side. How do you insinuate? You say maybe bad things about this person. Maybe bad things, Donald Trump. That's how you do. Well, they don't do it to Donald Trump. They do it to Joe Biden. They say maybe bad thing Joe Biden. Maybe bad thing Hunter Biden. Maybe bad thing. Maybe bad thing. Maybe. And then Republican voters, because they're kind of stupid. Republican voters, you know, They hear them. They don't hear the maybe part. They only hear the bad part. So So this whole thing that Chuck Grassley just gave, you know how he said he has no evidence of any wrongdoing? Republicans don't hear the no evidence. All they hear are the bad things. They don't hear the maybe. They only hear the bad things.
Where they are, and the facts haven't taken me to that point where I can say that the president's guilty of anything.
Right? So here, listen to what Chuck Grassley does. Listen to what he does. Remember how insinuation works. You say maybe bad thing about a person. Your audience doesn't hear the maybe. It only hears the bad thing. Afterwards, you'll say, I have no facts to support that. But your audience doesn't hear that part. All they hear is bad thing Hunter Biden, bad thing Joe Biden. That's how insinuation works. You have no proof of it, but you say it anyways. Republicans are stupid.
I'm going to take the same position I've taken since 2019.
Hold on, before. I'm going to turn this up a bit.
That all I can say is there's some indication of maybe some compromise with China particularly, but I have no evidence of it. And
so, like, he starts off with a smear. He's like, I have heard indications of maybe bad things with Hunter Biden in China. Maybe bad things Hunter Biden in China, but I have no evidence. His audience is not going to hear the no evidence part. They're only going to hear the bad part and then like believe it because they're dumb. Yeah, dude, I'm calling white supremacists stupid. That's right. So here's another one.
What is the...
So the problem, like the things about our government is that it's pretty transparent. There's some parts of it that are really transparent. Like these meetings that we have, like these are open meetings. You can tune in to watch them. They're always going on. If you're in DC, you can actually go to them. But that's the thing. We're a huge country. Who's got time to fly to DC just to go to a meeting? Like, so they televise it, right? But there's only some places you can watch it. But by watching, and then so what happens is, Fox News will record the whole thing. And of course, it makes the Republicans look real bad. But Fox News doesn't want to make Republicans look bad. They narrow it down. They narrow down the view. So that their viewers only get to see when the Republican talks. So the Republican looks all tough, rah, 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 oh, no, 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 and says a bunch of bullshit, right? A bunch of insinuations, a bunch of maybes. Like, and then Fox News cuts it off right there, and you never see the response from the witness. Or if you do, it's only cut up responses, so you don't know don't hear the full thing. That way, Fox News can portray the Republican Republican legislators as being good and tough and competent when they're not. They're not. If you just got to see the whole thing. Now, listen here. Republicans do not have any crime whatsoever to pin to Joe Biden. I am not defending Joe Biden because I like the guy, right? Like, Joe Biden's in the shithouse right now, as far as I'm concerned. But I'll get to that later. We still got to do this because this is like a repetition of the last time they did. It's like a repeat of the exact same thing they did with the last time. It's just, and I can't let it go, right? I let it go the last time because I didn't understand. This time I can't let it go. Understand, Republicans have no crime, no evidence, no nothing to impeach Joe Biden, but they're pushing ahead anyways because they just want to assert power. That's it. So if you try to like nail them down, you can't do it because they're not there. There's nothing there. Listen. This is a meeting, right? A meeting between Republicans and Democrats, I think on the Oversight Committee. And Republicans have control, right? Because they have, well, I don't know. Yeah. They have control because it's they control the House. So This is a meeting to decide if they should push forward with an impeachment inquiry on Joe Biden. So Republicans, Democrats in one little committee meeting deciding if Republicans should push forward with impeachment inquiry on Joe Biden. So this is a Democrat, Mr. Nagis, questioning the leader, I think Mike Johnson, about his idea of starting impeachment inquiry. So just listen. This is like public, right? You just got to know about it.
What is the specific constitutional crime that you're investigating?
Well, we're having an inquiry, so we can do an investigation and control the production of witnesses.
And what is the crime you're investigating?
And documents. High crimes, misdemeanors, and bribery.
What high crime and misdemeanor are you investigating?
Look, I will, once I get time, I will explain what we're looking at.
So, in other words, he doesn't have one. There is none. There is none. He's going to go fishing. He's going to try to find something that he can call a high crime or misdemeanor. Right? You know the Fourth Amendment that we have, the Fourth Amendment in the Constitution that protects American citizens from unlawful search and seizure? Why would Americans need protection, the Fourth Amendment, from unlawful search and seizure? Why? Why would they make that? Well, because it's no problem for the government to just walk into your house and start looking at stuff and then decide, oh, this thing right here, we're going to call that a crime, and then we're going to arrest you and put you in prison. Why can't cops just come into your house at any moment and look through your shit until they find something to arrest you for and then put you to prison? Why can't they do that? Fourth Amendment, the Fourth Amendment. Cops are not allowed to go on a fishing expedition to go look for something to arrest you for. They can't do it. Cops cannot just go say, I don't like that guy, I'm going to look through his shit until I find a reason to arrest him. Like, they're not supposed to do it. Maybe they do it in practice, but they're not supposed to. That's why we have the Fourth Amendment. So Republicans here are explicitly saying, look, we don't have a reason to investigate Joe Biden or Hunter Biden. We don't have one, right? There's no probable cause. We have no reason. There's no suspected crime. We have no suspected crime. But we don't like Joe Biden, so we are going to go fishing. We're going to go do an investigation and dig through all his shit and all his past and question all his associates. And eventually somewhere we'll find enough stuff to make up a reason to impeach him. But we don't have it right now, so I can't tell you what it is. That's exactly what this dude is saying. Republicans don't have shit. They have nothing.
I will make the equivalency.
No, I'm just asking you for
the last impeachment.
Did you hear that part? He wants to make an equivalency between Joe Biden and Donald Trump's impeachment. He wants to make an equivalency between the impeachment of Donald Trump, which was valid. Both impeachments were valid, and he should have been removed. But Republicans protected him because for Republicans, embezzlement and bribery are not bad enough to kick someone out of office. Trying to overthrow the government is not a valid reason to kick out the president for Republicans. That's why most of the Republicans voted to keep Donald Trump in power. The only time Republicans voted in recent memory, the only time Republicans found a crime that they thought was bad enough to remove a president was when Bill Clinton lied about getting a blowjob. If you lie under oath, Republicans will kick you out of office like that, like in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, if you lie under oath. Which is weird because that's what Mike Flynn did. Mike Flynn lied under oath, but they fucking love that guy. So it's weird. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. Why is it okay for Mike Flynn to lie under oath, but not Bill Clinton? Mike Flynn was lying under oath to destroy the United States, and Bill Clinton was lying under oath to protect his marriage. If you're only trying to destroy the United States, that's okay because they're all white supremacists and that's what they want to do. That's their plan. That's literally their plan. So that's, you get a good picture here, right? It's not hiding. It's not like it's hidden knowledge. Anyone could go watch these meetings and find out for themselves. If you only watch Fox News, all you're gonna get is a tiny little snippet when the Republicans are talking and making a big show of it, because they're doing it for the cameras. They're doing it on purpose. It's not like a new thing, dude. This is like old. They've been doing it for years and years and years. Rupert Murdoch has got it down to a science. That's why the people are so fucking stupid. That's why these Republican sheep are so dumb, because they only listen to Fox News, and Fox News gives them a very, very, very distorted picture of what's going on. They would never ever see this guy talk. They would never ever see like him ask this basic question, like, what are the crimes? They would never see any of that stuff because Fox News doesn't show them. So they don't have any clue, and they're not curious enough to go find out. They just can't be bothered, right? Because a lot of them are fucking brainwashed. Like this couple. Right? These guys are utterly brainwashed. They look at Trump like daddy. So it's not even rational. There's no reason to it. Donald Trump said it himself. He could kill someone on Fifth Avenue and not lose a vote. What kind of people vote for a guy like that? So be aware that that the coup is ongoing. That Donald Trump is still trying to overthrow the government. He never stopped. Like, let's hope our institutions do something in 2024. I don't think so. I don't know if this is gonna happen in time. I don't know if it's gonna happen in time. Because I can guarantee you, if Donald Trump seizes power, there's gonna be a civil war. I mean, if Donald Trump can be clear about that, I can be clear about this big social movement. If Donald Trump seizes power again, there's going to be a civil war. Because Donald Trump fully intends to destroy the United States Constitution. He said so himself on day one. And he's got an army to back him up. So let's hope that the U.S. military is still loyal to the Constitution. Ah! Remember this? So this is I love this. So Donald Trump is a big fat bully. He's a fucking con man. He's just a con man. He's stupid. He's a narcissist. So when he was president, Donald Trump liked to really squeeze people and jerk them, to like knock them off balance and to like drag them closer to him. So he would do this on purpose, and he did it in business to like get the psychological edge over his opponent. Like, it was a dumb thing. It was dumb. He was doing it to world leaders. He was doing this to not to business partners anymore. When he became president, he started doing it to world leaders. Man, you don't do that to world leaders. That's totally disrespectful. I can't believe it. Like, I was shocked over it. Of course, his base loved it, right? Because he represents the worst qualities. And his base is made up of the worst people. So they revel in the worstness of it, the badness of it. They reveled in it. Well, there's a reason, motherfuckers, that we have this social etiquette. Like, because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I mean, so here's Macron, president of France, younger guy, more fit. He knows that Donald Trump is going to try to fucking knock him off balance and yank him about. He knows this ahead of time, right? He knows Donald Trump is a dickhead. So he's like, I know how to deal with dickheads. Watch. Look at Macron. Nice, happy, confident, smiling. Check him out. Dude is happy. Dude is hydrated. Dude is well rested. He's a happy camper. He's good. He's cool. He's fine. Oh shit. And then look at Donald Trump. When has Donald Trump ever looked like that? He looks like he's in pain. Look at that stare, dude. He's like 1,000-yard stare. He's somewhere else in his brain right now. Look at him. He looks like shit. He looks like he's like being hurt. He looks like not happy. He looks pretty upset. Why would Donald Trump be so upset? Dude is famous for yanking people when he takes their hand. Why would he be upset? Oh, look! Look at that handshake! Look at Donald Trump feebly trying to escape. Oh my gosh! Look at him! Now it makes sense. He's trying to escape. He's like, "Give me back my hand, please!" That's because Donald Trump was a loser. He's a bully. He's a bully. Like he's just pathetic. Like, he's so bad. I can't believe it. He's just so bad. Like, but there's a kind of American who digs the machoism, and it's stupid. So, remember, Republicans are trying to impeach Joe Biden, but they don't have any evidence. Here, where's that Fox and Friends dude? That guy's hilarious. Steve Ducey.
The House Oversight Committee has been at this for years, and they have so far not been able to provide any concrete evidence that Joe Biden personally profited from his son Hunter's overseas business, but they are going to try again with this impeachment inquiry that's set to start next week.
Fox News, dude. Fox News. They've tried for years, and they've got nothing. So they're going to start an investigation to go fishing. Wow. What does the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, think of using impeachment for purely political reasons? What does he think of that?
The founding fathers, the founders of this country, warned against single-party impeachments, and they had a very specific reason for warning us against.
Wow. Remember, Donald Trump was impeached bipartisan. It was a bipartisan. It was bipartisan votes for conviction. Bipartisan. It wasn't just single party, like they're trying with like the Republicans are trying with Joe Biden. When we impeached Donald Trump, it was bipartisan. Maybe only one or two, but it was bipartisan.
Against that, they said that it would be bitterly divisive, perhaps irreparably divisive for the country, and that.
Yeah, dude. So the founding fathers warned against doing this because it would be bitterly divisive. It would be divisive, divisive. I don't know. It would divide. It would seriously divide the country. That's why they warned against single party impeachment, because it would divide the country. So Donald Trump, bipartisan impeachment. Joe Biden's impeachment inquiry, single party. Only Republicans went for it. And only Republicans push for it. When you ask them why, it's so they say so we can look for something to impeach him for. That's why. Start over, Mike Johnson.
The founding fathers, the founders of this country, warned against single-party impeachments, and they had a very specific reason for warning us against that. They said that it would be bitterly divisive, perhaps irreparably divisive for the country, and that's what's happened now. This is the first time in the history of this nation, in 243 years, that a president has been treated in this manner, when one party has followed and pursued a predetermined political outcome to get to that end.
I mean, like, right? Republicans have treated Joe Biden like shit. Republicans have been so bad to Joe Biden. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. And now they're gonna they it wasn't bad enough to go after Joe Biden. They have to go after his kids. That's the thing. It wasn't bad enough that Joe Biden was president. Like yeah, they couldn't hit Joe Biden. pardon me, they couldn't hit Joe Biden, so they hit his kid. Like, that's like the worst thing ever, man. Say it again, Mike Johnson. Why? How bad are these Republicans?
The history of this nation in 243 years that a president has been treated in this manner.
Yeah, dude. When's the last time a president's son was gone after by an entire party? Like the whole Republican Party is going after Hunter Biden. That's crazy. That's never happened before. I don't think ever in the history of the United States has a political party targeted the son of a political opponent. Like especially not the president's son. Holy shit, that's crazy.
When one party,
it is one party. It's only the Republicans. Only the Republicans are doing it. And Democrats ask him, okay, we would join you, but tell us what's going on. What's the crime? And the Republicans can't say because there is no crime.
has followed and pursued a predetermined political outcome.
Predetermined political outcome, right? They're going to impeach Joe Biden. They're going to do it. It's already predetermined. Republicans had that in mind. How do I know? Because that dude before was talking about how there was an equivalency between Donald Trump and Joe Biden when there's no equivalency, no crime. Donald Trump literally committed crimes. And Republican senators will say, yep, he did it, but it wasn't bad enough for us to impeach him for it. You can't even say a crime that Joe Biden did. Donald Trump embezzled money. Well, no, he didn't. Yeah, he embezzled money. Embezzlement, bribery. And then like insurrection. So yeah, Donald Trump is a bad guy. He stole funds from Congress that were going to go to Ukraine, and try to get something out of Zelensky for it.
To get to that.
So Republicans have a predetermined end. Oh shit! What? These guys just appeared out of nowhere, like on top of my face. What do you have for sale, man? What's up? I have a lot of slime balls. Got dark oak. I got green. I got light gray. I've got horn coral. No, dude. I need bucket of pufferfish. None of that. 'Do. Hey, get some more play a little bit of Minecraft, come on. Play a little bit. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wrong one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, full. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, they're both full now. Nice. Okay. And then get more lava for me. Ah ha ha. Play a little bit of Minecraft, right? Yeah, the Indian guy was trying to sell me something. No, I didn't want to talk to him anymore. I'm like, no, you can't come to my channel to sell shit. Come on, get out of here. Okay, okay. Here's a video. So remember what happened in Michigan? Well, in the battleground states, only the battleground states. Isn't that weird? No Republican states, no like strictly like only the and maybe not even the not even the blue states. Only in the battleground states were there fake electors. What am I talking about? So remember, Donald Trump and the Republicans tried to overthrow the government. So how do they try to overthrow the government? One way was to well, what they were going to do is they were going to have a bunch. So the people that hand the votes from, the people that hand the votes to the Congress are people that the individual states send, right? So they're called electors. And they were chosen and certified by the state to go to Washington, D.C. and deliver the votes of their state to the federal government to be counted. However, the Republicans and Donald Trump were hoping that the chain of command would be very weak between the state and the federal government, so that they felt they could substitute their own people, and say, oh no, we're the real ones, we're the real electors, and here's the votes. Oh, and Trump wins, look, and we're the real ones. So he tried to get all groups of these people. That way they would go to Washington, D.C., and there would be confusion. They'd be like, well, who's the real one? Like, what's going on? And then so they would what? It would delay the vote. That's the whole point, man. Delay. To keep delaying. It would delay the vote. So that was the plan. And the thing was, it was only going to be the battleground states where this would happen. You know, the battleground states, those states where it could have been either way with Joe Biden or Donald Trump. It was close. And it turned out that Joe Biden won, so that's why there were fake electors. So, like, it sounds like rah, 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 but look how it actually played out. Look how they tried to do it in Michigan, right? They tried to make this happen in Michigan. They're fake electors, the people who pretended to be like they were voted in. Hey, Swiftly Taken, what's up? Yo, I just saw you. They would show up. This is what it looks like, and pretend to say, oh, we're the real ones. Watch. These people are under arrest in Michigan now. They're going to jail. So they're trying to get inside the Capitol. They're trying to get into they're trying to get into the Capitol. Because remember, their ploy, these guys are fake electors. They're not real. Electors are the people who deliver the votes from the state to Washington, D.C. to be counted. So there's official people who do that. These are not the official people. These are just random, regular-ass people who agreed to join this conspiracy to try to overturn the election. That's all they are. So they're trying to break into the Capitol now, but the Capitol Police are stopping them. This is video that they used, they released because they already used it for evidence against these people. But yeah, they all got arrested and for trying to overthrow the government. But watch how it plays out.
What did he say? He said we can't enter.
What I said was, for the Capitol Commission, for the governor's office, for the Speaker of the House, for the Speaker of the Senate, the Capitol is closed unless you have an office here to conduct business today, or if you are taking part in the Electoral College process. Anybody else is not permitted to come in.
They are here to...
They're lying. They're lying. They're not electors. Hey, what's up? All right, man. All right, Swifty Taken. I'll see you later. Have a good day. So those people, when they said, oh yeah, we're electors, they're all lying. That's why they're going to jail.
Yeah, the electors are already here. They've been checked in.
Did you hear that? Do you see? They're trying. This is like literally on the ground watching them try to overthrow the election in Michigan. Like, wow, we're watching history take place as it's happening. Isn't technology amazing?
They're also electors.
All 16 electors that we've been advised by the governor's staff that we're going to be here to vote in the Electoral College have been checked in. They're already here.
But these are the rest of the electors.
I understand. But
They're trying to get in. Do you see? They're fake electors, and the whole point is to they're trying to deliver the state of Michigan to Donald Trump when Michigan voted for Joe Biden. They're trying to overthrow democracy.
The Capitol is closed. Everybody has permission to come forward.
Captain, the electors are also, the GOP electors are also on the.
There are no GOP electors, dude. Electors are electors. That's it. They just carry the votes. But do you see what that is? He's trying to confuse, like that was their plan. This is insurrection. We're literally watching an insurrection. This is video footage of an insurrection in action. They're trying to overthrow the election in Michigan. It's wild, man. It's wild to, I don't know. For me to be there watching it, like seeing it as it happens, it's amazing.
Governor's certificate of ascertainment.
I'm not going to get into a political debate. I'm following orders.
It's not a political debate.
Okay.
It's the official sealed document. The certificate of ascertainment has also the GOP electors. They are here. They're trying to do their constitutional duty.
I understand.
And their constitutional duty requires them to be at the Senate chamber today at 2 p.m.
Okay.
They're here.
All right. They're not. I understand. They're not being permitted in. If you have a problem, you can contact the governor's office, the Speaker of the House.
Did you hear that guy? That guy was trying to use lawyer speak to charm his way in. What? I mean, but that guy was not charmable. You cannot. This guard was not. You can't charm this guard. There's no charming the guard. It might have worked on someone else, but.
Senate Majority Leader or.
I saw the governor's press release this morning. It said due to COVID. Is that the reason being given?
No.
All right, that was what the press release said. Is there another reason why?
You'd have to ask the governor's office to answer that question. I don't have.
So he's just trying to confuse things and get in. He's using lawyer speak. It's funny.
We have a copy of paperwork that was prepared as electors under their constitutional.
So he keeps trying to appeal to authority. Uses. When he has none. You're appealing to authority to an authority figure.
Duty. Can I speak to the Sergeant of Arms of the Senate to deliver it to the chamber today?
He's in a meeting right now with the Electoral College. He's not available to meet.
Captain Green, is it Captain?
First Lieutenant Green.
First Lieutenant, can you deliver this?
I cannot.
Okay. Is there anyone here that's willing to allow us? I've got elected officials and electors.
Okay.
See, that was the plan. They're all fake. They have quote quote fake elected officials. They have quote quote they have fake electors, and the whole point was to overthrow and overturn the election in Michigan because it didn't go in the direction that Donald Trump wanted. That's like it's weird that there are people who. They have eyes like me. They can see this footage too. It's not like they're blind, but they see this footage and they're like, "Oh, I'm still on board with the coup. I still want to overthrow democracy." They don't say it like that. They believe that they're helping democracy when they're actually overthrowing it. Like, and I can show them the video of it. Like, it's just incredible.
Deliver this to the Senate today at 2 p.m.
Okay. I can ask the Senate Majority Leader, the House Majority Leader, and
Senator Mike Shirkey. Would you deliver that to him? Tell him Ian Norton.
You can contact his office.
Mike Sharpie. Oh, that's weird that he wanted to give it to Mike Sharpie. So yeah, Mike Sharpie is like an ally, or not an ally, but like a co-conspirator in trying to overthrow the government. Interesting.
Directly make arrangements to drop that off to him, so I'm not going to take anything.
You're not letting him in the building. His office is inside.
He's not here.
What's that?
He's not here.
So are you telling me that the Senate chamber is in session and the Senate leader's not here?
Yeah. So you'd have to contact his office to make arrangements to meet with him to turn over.
Right, somebody from the governor's team that's running this.
You'd have to contact the governor's office with your team to make arrangements for.
Look at him keep just blocking. He's like bing, bing, bing. The guy's trying to poke his way in. He's like bing, bing. Gotta contact this guy. Gotta contact that guy.
All right, again, the electors by statute, it's statute MC.
See, he's appealing to authority. That appeal to authority, and he's a lawyer. That's why he's being statute. He's a lawyer.
168.47 have to be at the Senate chamber today.
Okay.
At 2 p.m. They're trying.
Today. Listen to him.
I'm telling you that they're not going to be allowed to enter the Capitol, sir.
All right, thank you, Lieutenant.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Look at that lady in the corner. Trump. It was a coup. It was a coup. They tried to overthrow the government in Michigan, or overthrow the election. They tried to overthrow the election in Michigan, and then this guy's gonna give a speech. He's a lawyer.
The electors can speak for themselves, but
they're fake electors. That's the whole thing. I'm not gonna listen to him. He's gonna try to justify it, but he's full of shit. He's a lawyer, so he's gonna try to lay on the charm. I'm not saying lawyers are bad people, but they have a craft. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I watch, like, all this information's out there. All this information's out there. And I just don't know how anyone could remain a Confederate when this information's out there. Like, how can you be with the Confederate Party, Republican Party? How can you do it after seeing all this stuff? Unless you want to overthrow democracy. And a lot of them do. A lot of them do. A lot of Republicans do. Okay. So here, check this out. This is like the latest news, or pretty recent. NBC News confirms the Senate Intelligence Committee. Oh, this is by Kyle Griffin. So NBC News on Twitter. NBC News confirms the Senate Intelligence Committee was briefed 2 years ago that a binder containing highly classified information related to Russian election interference had gone missing in the waning days of the Trump administration. The binder contained highly classified raw intelligence. So in other words, the Donald Trump had the Intelligence Committee draw up like a binder of the ways in which they figured out, and the techniques in which they figured out that the Russians and Donald Trump were conspiring together. Donald Trump ordered them to do it, and they did it. They made this binder that contained, well, how we figured out the Russians were fucking with us. And he got this binder and he gave it to the Russians. It's gone. It's gone. That binder's gone. I mean, maybe he didn't give it to the, maybe it's just missing. But we know he stole documents already. We already know he stole shit from the United States anyways, because that's the whole Mar-a-Lago thing. We have photos of it, man. We already know he stole shit. So, like, it's not hard to think, geez, he already has a special relationship with the Russian government. They were pretty interested in finding out how we knew. They were doing like gray mail, which is like, they were trying to use the court process of discovery to gain information about the United States. That they could use against us later on. So yeah, of course, you know, it's not hard to wonder that if the Russians got a hold of that, because they wanted it. And Trump is their guy. Okay. Oh, I'll get to that later. All right. So we know that Donald Trump is a bad guy. We know that he has like a kind of presence. He commands a presence that draws people to him. We know that he has a particular way of speaking that works really, really well on his followers. Because, you know, his followers have been preconditioned by Fox News to react emotionally toward certain trigger words. And so all Donald Trump has to do is use those trigger words in a certain pattern, and he can elicit benevolent feelings from his listeners, from his audience. It's like, oh, it's like he knows us. Well, yeah, dude, there's a media company programming you ahead of time to respond appropriately to when he says the key words, the scripted words. You've been programmed to like Donald Trump. So yeah, that kind of like bums me out that there are so many Americans like that. It's like serious Stockholm syndrome stuff. However, as you know, I am not like the MAGA people. I'm not like a Donald Trump cultist. I'm not like that. I'm not like that at all. Check it. Joe Biden urged to strike Houthis to stop rebel Red Sea shipping attacks. 2 major shipping companies are pausing operations in the region after a succession of missile strikes on commercial vessels. So, what that's about, man, see, I should have pulled up a map of the Suez Canal. Can I do that real quick? Maps, google.com. Let's go Suez Canal. Zoom out, man, too close. Oh yeah, this is good. Snip. New. Okay, guys. Everyone. Not just guys, but everyone. Okay, get rid of this. Let me zoom in on that map. First of all, get rid of that. Okay. Let's zoom in. Here is Israel. Here's Palestine and Israel. This is the Negev Desert, I think. Or no, that's the Sinai Peninsula. That's the Negev Desert. Here's Gaza right there. That little tiny speck is Gaza, and that's the West Bank. But this is deceiving because Israel occupies the West Bank, and settlers have moved in and just claimed land and took it away. And there's checkpoints all over the place. So the Palestinian people can't really move anywhere. It's like a big prison. So anyways, so right now Israel is committing genocide against the Palestinian people who live here because the government of Israel wants the land that the Palestinian people live on. Same thing here, right? They'll eventually they will eventually do this. What they do to Gaza, they will eventually do it to the West Bank. But first they're going to do it on Gaza, and then they're going to take the land in Gaza. Then they're going to do it to the West Bank and take the land in the West Bank. So it's pretty shitty, right? Pretty bad. Genocide is real bad. It's a bad thing. Well, it just so happens that right next to Israel in Egypt is the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal. This canal is the canal that allows shipping allows ships from coming from Asia, instead of going down south around the Horn of Africa and then all the way back up the other side of Africa, instead they can take a shortcut through the Suez Canal directly into the Mediterranean Sea and to into European markets. So a lot of European goods and services travel through the Suez Canal. It's real important. For European stability. So as you know, or as I've been saying, Israel is committing genocide against the Palestinian people. And the United States has stationed offshore aircraft carriers to disincentivize any of the neighboring countries from getting involved in trying to stop Israel's genocide. So the thing is though, this whole area is Muslim. Everything around here is Muslim, and not even Muslim. It's Arab, right? It's Arab. Oh man, this is so awful. More than Muslim, it's Arab. Mostly. The vast majority. Well, I don't know. I don't even know. I can't even say, right? I shouldn't say. I don't even know. I can't say. It's probably a lot more complex than I'm saying. But what I'm trying to get to is that this is other country right here. Right here called Yemen. Yemen. So Israel, we got Israel and Palestine, right? You have the Suez Canal, which goes to Europe. And then this goes to Asia. To EU. To Asia. So that's where they go. The ships, the gas ships, all the ships go through here. Right? Okay. Israel is doing genocide here. Yemen is fighting is in a war right now. I thought Yemen was over here, so I'm really confused. But okay, great. Yemen's down here. Yemen is in a big war, a civil war, and I don't really know much about what's going on there. I just know it's real bad. But there's a group called the Houthis who are sympathetic to the Palestinian people. And so, oh, dude, I'm super loud. They're sympathetic to the Palestinian people. So, damn. Okay. So, what they said is that we cannot, an offshore of Yemen is an aircraft carrier, or ships. There's a U.S. military ships out here. Okay. Oh yeah, dude. So all these ships are going along the Suez Canal, going this way, right? This is the Persian Gulf. I got confused. This is the Persian Gulf, and this is like the big one, the Red Sea. Part of the Red Sea. Okay. Houthis are shooting at shipping containers. They can't hit the U.S. ships. They can't hit the military, the U.S. military ships, but they can hit commercial vessels, and so that's what they're doing. And it's not just U.S. ships there. There's also French ships, and there's a UK ship over here. Everyone. So it's not just America being world police. It's a lot of European nations trying to keep the shipping line open and protect the shipping line from pirates, not just the USA. but they keep doing it. So now, understanding that, we go back to this. Joe Biden urged to strike Houthis to stop Red Sea shipping attacks. So do you see how that's working? Here, this is the Red Sea. This is the shipping lane. This is the Suez Canal. This is Israel. So Israel is doing genocide on Palestinians. So to strike back, because they can't hit Israel from here. So since they can't hit Israel from here, instead they're gonna attack the shipping containers. Because why? Because Israel is being supported by Europe and USA. Well, I don't know about Europe, but USA for sure. So you can't, if you can't hit USA, or if you can't hit Israel, they'll hit the allies of US, or the allies of Israel. I mean, Israel can only do what they're doing because USA is supporting them. Israel could not do a genocide without USA support. So the Houthis are attacking commercial vessels in retaliation for U.S. support of Israeli genocide of the Palestinian people. And so the Europe, well, capitalism is stepping in and saying, hey, Mr. Joe Biden, you need to make sure capitalism keeps working and you stop that instability. You know, the Houthis in Yemen, now that you're messing with business, now we have a problem. Before, when genocide, no problem, no issue, right? But now that you're messing with big corporations and their money, oh, now there's a problem. So now the shipping companies so Joe Biden has been urged to attack Houthi militants whose strikes on a shipping lane have threatened to halt the passage of freighters through the Red Sea. After a succession of missile strikes on various commercial vessels, two major shipping companies said they were pausing operations in the region, where as much as $1 trillion in goods passes through each year. Do you see? Danish shipping giant Maersk said it was halting operations in the Red Sea until further notice after its ship MSC Platinum 3 came under attack. The German shipping company Hapag-Lloyd, whose vessel Al Jashar was targeted, and I didn't get the rest, but basically Europe, right? Two shipping companies in Europe. So now that European interests are being threatened, now Europe is saying, hey guys, why don't you like, you know, now your little genocide is spilling over into our business making. So like, it's not working out. Why don't you take care of that? To Joe Biden. So do you see how that it's the war is becoming bigger and bigger? Now, the other thing is, remember last week, do I still have it from last week? U.S. forces under attack. There were 4 additional attacks on U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria since yesterday, according to a DoD official. Now 82 overall since October 17th. That was December 8th. So there's been more attacks since then. It's like the 17th. There's been a lot more attacks, like 10 more attacks since then. So let's go back to this guy. Where are our U.S. forces? Where are these U.S. forces? I'm going to get blue. No, blue is confusing. Yellow's over there. Let's get red. So here's Syria. Here's Iraq. And there's Baghdad. Okay. So as you know, Syria is like bad, or not bad. Syria, it has a civil war right now. Damascus is where Bashar Assad lives, and he's a bad guy. Bashar Assad is allied with Russia, and in Syria is a really, really big Russian naval base. So Russia is really interested in supporting the government of Bashar Assad. And Bashar Assad is a dictator. He's a bad guy, just like Saddam Hussein, just like all the other bad guys. Like, I don't. Oh man, it's so complicated. Man, we're friends with like dictatorships. Like, we installed them. Like, do you see how it hurts? Fuck. All right. So Bashar Assad like had lost control for like so United States invaded Iraq, right? USA invaded Iraq. Yeah, sure, we use red. So USA invaded Iraq. Boom, right? And that broke Iraq, the government of Iraq. It used to be what's his face's name? Dude, am I still alive? I need to be careful. I gotta like go to safety. Okay, go back to my thing. It used to be that Saddam Hussein kept everything peaceful in Iraq with brutality. He was a bad guy, dude. It wasn't like nice peaceful. He was like a tyrant. And he kept a minority in power, a religious minority in power, and persecuted the religious majority. So the religious majority was allied with Iran, and the religious minority allied with Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia and Iran hate each other. Okay, well, it's a religious thing. So anyways, I'm sure it's more, right? Because they're right next to each other. Anyways, so United States invades, destroys the peace, the brutal, evil peace that Saddam Hussein kept. And so what happened was upsprang ISIS. Now little spots of ISIS appear. ISIS will be purple. Little spots of ISIS appear. And the United States, little spots of ISIS appear, right? Ding, 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 ding. So you remember ISIS, right? Up here too. Ding, 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 ding. You remember ISIS, right? ISIS is just a bunch of Islamic extremists. They're like Muslim extremists, basically. Like not Muslims, they're extremists. Like they take Muslims, but then they go way like past it. So they're not indicative of regular Muslims. Just like not all Christians are like extremist Christians. Like there's Christians, and then there's people who take it way past that. So it's the same thing. Imagine the people who are Christian but then take it way past that. Imagine they got guns and started shooting people. That's what started happening with ISIS. So what happens is they threaten the government of Iraq, and so the United States had to fight to keep Iraq stable. And like it did so. No, don't erase all ink. It did so like with a degree of success. Erase. No, not erase all ink. I just want to erase this one. Well, I can't erase it. It did so with a degree of success. It worked a little bit. But dude, this thing was so like slow and laggy. So it worked a little bit. But because the United States had an agreement with the Iraqi government that it could do that. It doesn't have an agreement with Damascus. The United States does not have an agreement with Damascus to come in. But Damascus lost control of the northern part of Syria, parts of Syria. So it was a big crazy thing, right? Like what's going on? No one knows. Like some guys are like they want democracy, so they're fighting for democracy. Other groups want Islamic extremism, so they're fighting for ISIS. So it's kind of hard to know who you're helping out. So, but there's other people who are the Kurds and other American allies in the region, right? They all live around here, but they don't have a country. They don't have a country. They didn't get to have a country. When they drew all these borders, they didn't make a border around these guys to make their own country. So they're kind of the Kurds. They're kind of like left out. It kind of sucks for them, right? And they're trying to help out. And basically they're our friends, the friends of the United States. Since the United States can't really go there, the United States is like, look, we'll help you guys out if you help us out. And they're like, okay. Well, remember this whole deal with Israel committing genocide on the Palestinian people? that becomes that not only caused the Houthis down here to shoot vessels, but also it's caused the ISIS purple people up here to start attacking the U.S. Bases. USA has bases in northern Syria and Iraq. The bases aren't like major full-on military bases. They're little tripwire bases. Like, not really there meant to be full-on, but be there to say oh, if you attack our base, you're gonna get the whole might of USA on you. So it's like it's like a tripwire. Anyways, now these guys, our American troops are being attacked up here. So we have two problems. We have American troops being attacked in this region, and you can't see it all. Hold on. Now we have two problems. We have American troops being attacked up here in northern Syria and Iraq, and we have commercial vessels being attacked by the Houthis down here in Yemen. Do you see how it's starting to spiral out of control? The way that the whole thing's interconnected? If you poke in one area, you're going to affect the whole thing. And that's what's happening. By Israel doing this, it's affecting disparate parts of the region that don't appear to be connected, but actually are. So the thing is that the United States should not be doing this. I'm an American. I feel like shit. I feel terrible that the president is enabling this, because that's what Joe Biden's doing. Joe Biden gave Bibi Netanyahu a ginormous bear hug. Bibi Netanyahu, a fascist, a criminal and a fascist. Joe Biden gave a criminal and a fascist a great big bear hug. Do you know what that's like? Try to imagine Joe Biden seeing Donald Trump and going up to Donald Trump and giving him a big fat bear hug. Big, strong, fat bear hug. Imagine it. Because it's the same thing, right? Bibi Netanyahu is an indicted criminal. The moment there is not a war, Bibi Netanyahu is going to be on trial again. And he's going to get voted out of office, and his party is going to lose power. And he's going to face consequences. The moment there's not war. Oh, geez. So if Bibi Netanyahu were smart, he would make sure that the war keeps going. Right? If you know that the moment there's not a war, that you're going to face the consequences, it's in your best interest to keep the war going. So Bibi Netanyahu, who has no loyalty to the United States, he has nothing. He cares nothing for the United States. Nothing at all. Come on, dude. He doesn't even care about the Jewish people. Like, he used the hostages as a reason, as a pretense to start the genocide. He had no intention of saving the hostages. In fact, just recently, there was a story about how Israel, the IDF, killed 3 hostages. They were naked from the waist up to show they had no suicide vests, and they were waving white flags. And the IDF slaughtered them, killed them. And they were the hostages they were supposed to be, quote, quote, saving. They don't care about Bibi Netanyahu doesn't care about saving the hostages. The hostages are his reason to commit genocide in Gaza. That's the whole thing. Why? Because Bibi Netanyahu is a one-state, ethno-state Israeli supremacist. He doesn't care about Jewish people. He doesn't even care about Israeli citizens. All he wants is the land to remake his vision of a greater Israel, just like Russia has their vision of reconstituting the USSR. It's the same thing. They're the same person. And remember, he's already indicted in Israeli courts. He's already tried to overthrow democracy in Israel by eliminating judicial review of the laws that his government passes. He wanted to say that the Israeli government could not review, the Israeli court could not review the laws that his government passes. His laws were so perfect that there could be no review of them, no change of them. Dude's a fascist. So think of Donald. He's basically the Israeli Donald Trump. So remember, Donald Trump tried to do the same thing. Donald Trump assassinated that Iranian general just out of the blue. Just assassinated a general. Why? Because he wanted to start a war as a pretense to keep himself in power. And Iran didn't take it. Iran didn't do it. Iran instead shot a bunch of missiles at our dudes in I don't know where. I think in Iraq. Iran shot a bunch of missiles and hurt a bunch of guys and people. Hurt a bunch of people. Like TBIs and shit. I mean, like, not like they're not dead, but it fucked them up. So why did Donald Trump do that? Not because he cares about the troops, because he wanted to start a war to keep himself in power, just like Bibi Netanyahu is doing right now. It's the same. They're all fucking fascists. They do the same fucking thing, guys. That's what I've been trying to tell you over and over and over again. Like, okay, so Bibi Netanyahu knows that he's gonna go to jail and lose power once the war is over. His goal is to do genocide so he can ethnically cleanse the area and claim it for Israel. Right? He cares nothing for the United States. He cares nothing. He owes the United States zero loyalty. He's only friendly to us in as much as he can get something out of it. And what is he getting out of our relationship right now? He's committing genocide and getting us to cover for it. We are paying the price. Our troops are getting attacked in Iraq and Syria because of what Bibi Netanyahu is doing. Our allies are getting their shit fucked with because of what they're doing in Israel. Like, I don't like. It doesn't concern me, right? It's going to Europe. But it's our friend, so we should care for what happens to our friends. So what's going on there does not benefit the United States whatsoever. In fact, it hurts us. It hurts us. The relationship right now with Bibi, and Biden bear hugged the guy. Take off Bibi Netanyahu's face and put on Donald Trump's head. Ta-da! Ta-da! Imagine Joe Biden giving Donald Trump a big-ass bear hug. All right. Thanks, Map. Okay, real quick before I get rid of it forever. It's going to be gone forever after this. Well, only on video. Saudi Arabia. Let me get the country on. Saudi Arabia. Oh, no. Saudi Arabia, Iran. All right. This one is ruled by extremists called Shia of the Shia faction. Shia. I don't know how to spell it. And this is the Sunni faction. And these guys don't like each other. Iraq is like in between, you see? And then so when Saddam Hussein was in power, the Sunni faction was smaller, but it controlled all of Iraq. And all the people are Shia, but they were subjugated under Saddam Hussein. So when you took out Saddam Hussein, you took out the uneven representation in government. Suddenly, Iraq shifted to the majority, which was Shia. So it moved. That means Iraq moved closer to Iran and away from Saudi Arabia. Oh my God! It's so like I don't want to be there, man. It's so messed up. It's so messed up. Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, it's better that you can see it, but it's so messed up. Like, oh my god. So, but come back to current time, right? We're looking at Israel commit genocide. That's causing Yemen to attack shit, and that's causing Syria and Iraq to attack our dudes. So like, and then Joe Biden. So the guy who initiated it is a bad guy. He's like the Donald Trump of Israel. And we have Joe Biden flying over to Donald Trump and giving him a big fat bear hug and saying, I support you 100% in whatever you do. Oh my god. So Joe Biden has a choice. Does he want to contribute to the continuation of white supremacy? Because that's what it is. It's white supremacy. It's fascism. And the way that he's arranged U.S. foreign policy, he's made us the bad guys. We're the bad guys. The United States are the bad guys. Where'd it go? It was two back. Two. No. More. 3. No. Where's it at? I don't want to be the bad guy. I don't want to be the bad guy. But there it is. Then that's the truth. What am I going to do? I don't want to be the bad guy. Oh no. But that's the truth. Look at that. Look at that. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear. So this is Christmas. Oh, did you hear the latest? Israel fucking killed a bunch of Palestinian Christians in a Christian church. Like they're literally just fucking killing everybody, dude. It's a genocide. And Joe Biden is 100% behind it. He fucking bear hugged the guy who's doing it. And American troops are suffering because of that decision. American hardware is being used to facilitate the genocide. American troops are being used to give cover to the Israelis as they do what they do. American hardware is being like fast-tracked to Israel so they can do what they do, which is genocide. The United States is complicit. We're bloody, guys. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We're bloody. We're covered in blood. So cool to see things, man. All right, so a while ago, I wrote, you know, I'm an American. I'm an American. I can like mope or can do something. So, what what Americans do? What's America about? America's about democracy, right? That Americans have a fucking say in their government. Like, I don't have to sit here and be like, oh, Joe Biden's gonna do this in my name. Oh, that's like, no, I have a voice, right? So I contacted my representative, and I said, hey, representative, I don't like this. Why don't you call for a ceasefire? And my representative wrote back, Andrea Salinas. She wrote back. One representative wrote back to me. Isn't that cool, dude? One rep wrote back to me. Let's read what she said. This rep, right? Rep Salinas. I was horrified and unequivocally condemned the brutal terrorist attack Hamas unleashed on the people of Israel on October 7th. Okay. And I strongly believe that Israel has a right to defend itself. What does that fucking mean? Does that mean genocide? No, I don't agree to that. I am also horrified by the ongoing destruction and loss of human life the world is seeing in Gaza, the genocide. That is why I fully supported the temporary ceasefire that started on November 24th, 2023 and ended on December 1st, 2023. This break in the fighting allowed more robust humanitarian efforts in Gaza by allowing relief workers to do their jobs safely and increasing the amount of aid and fuel delivered to Gaza. Additionally, the temporary ceasefire brokered by the US, Qatar, and Egypt allowed the exchange of some Palestinian detained in Israel for hostages kidnapped by Hamas on October 7th. I fully supported this agreement that reunited families who have endured many sleepless nights without their loved ones. I continue to call on Hamas to release all the hostages they kidnapped. Remember the ones that got murdered by the IDF? Maybe you should keep them. Okay. Additionally, let's see. I believe Israel has the right to target Hamas, but they're not. They're indiscriminately bombing and killing people. But it must do so in accordance with international law, and it's not. They're war crimes. It's a war crime, dude. Importantly, Hamas does not represent the Palestinian people. Hamas is a terrorist organization that not only attacks Israeli civilians, but also violently oppresses Palestinians living in Gaza. Palestinians deserve the right to self-determination, to have their voices heard, and to be free of Hamas's malign influence. Okay, sure. I am grateful to President Biden for his leadership throughout this tragedy and for the supplemental funding request he sent to Congress, which includes enough money to fortify Israel's military and defensive capabilities while also significantly improving the humanitarian situation in Gaza. We'll give you more fucking guns if we can give them fuel for a bit. Like, what? I look forward to voting on the president's full funding request, unlike what Republicans put forward on November 2nd, which included no money for humanitarian aid. Only guns. Ah, that's funny. Accordingly, I joined dozens of my colleagues in a letter sent to President Biden calling on the administration to ensure civilians in Gaza are safe and have reliable access to necessities such as food and water, which they don't because they're being genocided. Further, I signed onto a bipartisan letter to the ambassador of Egypt, calling on Egypt to join the U.S. and our allies in maintaining and establishing more humanitarian corridors and safe zones in southern Gaza, which are being fucking bombed and targeted by the IDF. See, it's fucked up, dude. It's fucked up. But this is democracy, right? So I'm committed to doing everything in my power to prevent more innocent lives from being lost. I am also very concerned about the increase in hate crimes against Muslim and Arab Americans, as well as Jewish Americans. I have see, that's the thing I didn't talk about. This thing spills over way past like the Middle East. Like it's gonna spill over, dude, into areas that it ought not to. Like, there's no reason why that conflict should promote any violence in the United States. But already, a 6-year-old Palestinian kid got knifed to death by some fucking adult dude who went crazy because he watched too much media. Like, because the hate is pre-programmed into some people, man. The violence. Like, we can't have this shit be spreading. And that's what we're risking by continuing our support for the Israeli genocide of the Gaza people, of the Palestinian people in Gaza. So, I have publicly condemned these hate crimes and acts of violence, and I support the Biden administration's national security strategy to counter Islamophobia in the United States. There's no place for Islamophobia or anti-Semitism in the United States. Yes. Okay, so there's more to it, but you can't see it. Please know I take my responsibilities to stand with our allies and to protect innocent civilian lives incredibly seriously. My colleagues and I will continue working with President Biden to both strengthen the United States' support for Israel, and provide humanitarian assistance to all innocents who are now suffering. Now more than ever, the United States must show strong leadership on the global stage. Again, thank you for contacting me to share your thoughts on the conflict between Israel and Hamas. Please do not. Okay, rah. So, I don't mind providing Israel with munitions for their Iron Dome system. That I'm okay with. Why? Because the Iron Dome is is defensive only. All you do is defend from incoming attacks. That's it. But you don't need to give them tank rounds and shit. That's stupid. That's stupid. Look at how they use it. They commit genocide with that kind of stuff. So, and the thing is that you can't deliver humanitarian aid when Israel is fucking dropping bombs on everybody. Most of the bombs that they dropped weren't even guided. They were just dumb bombs. So I wrote back to her, right? Because I can, because this is democracy. What did I say to her? And I said, "Dear Representative Salinas, thank you for responding to my concerns about the genocide in Gaza and the ways in which U.S. support for the genocide undermines our standing in the world. It was disappointing to see your yay vote on House Resolution 927 in the 118th Congress 2023-2024, sponsored by Representative Stefanik. Representative Stefanik represents an aberrant faction of the American society, and her legislation is only meant to divide and weaken the United States. It is regrettable that you would stand with her in this legislative trap. Despite your wish that, quote, Israel has the right to target Hamas, but it must do so in accordance with international law, end quote, recent reporting indicates Israel is using unguided munitions and dropping them indiscriminately on the civilian population of Gaza. The government of Israel has already tried to end democracy in Israel by ending judicial review. It's a government that is fascist both in words and practice. To support such a government is a betrayal of the values that make the United States a beacon of hope in the world. Perhaps as an American you are unaware, but the Netanyahu government has propped up Hamas because they share a similar goal of maintaining the conflict. Therefore, if you quote believe Israel has the right to target Hamas, end quote, you are being tricked by the Netanyahu government into complicity for war crimes. The Netanyahu government isn't interested in defeating Hamas. It's interested in ethnically cleansing the West Bank and Gaza to create an ethno-state, which is, by definition, fascist. Furthermore, USA needs to apply full pressure to reinstate another ceasefire so humanitarian aid can reach the vulnerable population of Gaza. By failing to condition the release of weapons to Israel, as they have been conditioned for Ukraine, USA implicitly gives permission to Israel to continue the genocide and slaughter. Already the damage is done. The only question is how deep will we be soaked in blood? as an unintended consequence for USA's continued support of the genocide in Gaza is that our nation's troops are under attack daily. Is the genocide in Gaza for Netanyahu's benefit worth that sacrifice of our troops? How many American soldiers have to be permanently injured or die before USA questions the value of its support for Israel? Once again, I appreciate the response. You're the only one to write back. It's pleasing to know that democracy and engagement can still work. Thank you for your service and your representation. So, let's see how this plays out. For me, easy in my fucking like nice ass robe, dude. This is a nice robe. This is like my mom got this for me like last Christmas for like a gift. Man, it's super nice. Like, ooh, I feel like he who remains. Except I can't step out of time like he does. Like, I'm not sitting there at the end of time. I'm right in the middle of it with you. That's funny. So here's the thing, right? Here's something important to remember. Whoa, what is this? What is this? This is a photograph of Jewish people, Jewish organization, blocking the 110 freeway in Los Angeles to protest the United States support for the genocide in Gaza. Jewish people are blocking the freeway in LA. Holy crap, dude, that's like bravery. Do you know how they drive there? Oh man, and then it's Los Angeles. Oh my god. It's like, holy crap, you guys are like the bravery, that doesn't capture it. I don't want to say the balls of it because that's like gendered, but like, man, that's like incredible. You guys are like the chutzpah. I don't know how to say it. Chutzpah. I don't know how do you say it. I don't know. Is that the word? Does that capture it? I don't know. It's something like that. That's crazy what they're doing. They're Jewish people who are so committed to the message of stop the genocide in Gaza, ceasefire in Gaza. They fucking stopped the freeway in LA, a major freeway. Dude, the 110? Shit. Dude, they got fucked with. The drivers were pissed. They got out of their cars and were fucking with them. And like violence and shit. Dude, it was bad. It was bad. And I can kind of see it from their perspective, right? If you are a citizen of the United States and you are unaware of what's going on in Gaza, you're unaware of what's happening, all you know is you need to drive to make your appointment. You need to get there to work on time, else you're gonna you need to make money so you can keep paying rent and keep your insurance so your kid doesn't like lose their surgery. Like, you got all these fucking other deals. All you see is a line of people blocking you from making sure you get your shit done. You don't care about what's happening. You don't even know what's happening over there, but you do know that your kid needs you to have insurance. You do know that your kid needs you to have a fucking roof over his head. That's what you fucking know. So when you see this line of people blocking you from stopping you from taking care of your kid, you're going to be like, frustrated. You have no concept. You have no idea that, hey, guy, guess what? This part of your body that you can't feel is strangling little children. Do you even know it? Do you even know? Of course he doesn't know, right? Because that's like metaphysical. That's not metaphysical, but that's on a way different level that he's on right now. He's in survival mode, and you're pointing to like ethereal, like mage hand mode that he can't get to. Like, yeah, he is. Like, technically, not even technically, he really is materially too, but it's so far away he can't feel it. And so all he knows is that you're stopping him from taking care of his own kid, and fulfilling his own responsibilities. I can get it. But you can't hurt them, man. This is America. This is the United States. It's non-violent. It's non-violent protest. They're not violent. They're not fucking attacking you. Like, they're not hurting you at all. I mean, physically. They're not threatening you at all, physically. You can, like, right? And it sucks. It's pretty shitty, dude. I mean, but maybe you should find out why they're doing it, because it's a fucking crazy thing they're doing, right? Don't you agree? Don't you agree? That's fucking crazy, man. Why? Ask them, why are you doing this? Why are you stopping me from fulfilling my responsibilities? Why are you putting in jeopardy all these things? Why are you doing it? What's so important that you would do something like this? Ask them why. There's a reason. It's not like they're fucking dicks. It's not a bunch of guys who are like, oh yeah, just be dicks about it. Oh no, it's way deeper than that. Ask them. Find out, dude. Because maybe like you lost 15 minutes, maybe, and it's gonna be on the news and shit, so you can point to it and get a good story out of it at this point. But like, they're trying to make you have a connection, because if you ask them, why are you doing this, and they tell you there's a genocide in Gaza being done in your name and we need our government to stop it, you become aware. You didn't feel it before, but you feel it now. Maybe you're still like smarting from the outcome of whatever this entailed. I don't know. But the goal is to make you feel it, to make you aware of it. So, and it's a thing, right? Like when I was in so I had this amazing opportunity and experience to be in Manhattan. Like, don't ask, like, it's a long story, man. It's so crazy. But like, I had an amazing experience to be in Manhattan. And one of the amazing experiences, part of the amazing experience I had was to go to a yoga studio. Now you're gonna say like, ha yoga studio, but no, like it was pretty cool, because yeah, I mean, I was young, so back then it was easy to do it because I was young. So I could do all the stretches and stuff, like, no problem. But like, I was doing this one thing where we had to just like stay like this, whatever, and the instructor would go around and like just barely touch people, just barely touch people. And like, I was like trying real hard, right, to hold the position that I was supposed to hold, like, and I thought I had it perfect, right? That's why when the instructor came by, I was like, I'm okay. I have perfect form. I'm okay. And the instructor came by, and the instructor reached down and touched a part on my back. And when she touched it, it went bing, like it like boom. I became aware of it, and it straightened up because it wasn't straight, but I was totally unaware of it until she touched that part, just the lightest touch, just to make aware, just enough to make you aware of it. I don't think they blocked it for like a day. I don't think they blocked it for like 4 hours. They might have only blocked it for like 15 minutes, you know, like long enough to like get pictures and shit. Like, just long enough to make you aware of what's going on. They're good people, man. Let's see. Yeah. All right. It ties into a lot, man. So the whole point of that is to show you that there is no connection between the state of Israel and Jewish people. The Jewish people. There's no connection. There's none. There's no connection. Like nothing. The only ones that want you to be confused by it, to believe that Jewish people and Israel are the same thing, the only ones who want that are fascists. because that way it gives them cover to do what they need to do, or to do ethnic cleansing, because they can claim that they're doing it in the name of Jewish people when the Jewish people are like, no. Jewish people are all over the world, man. Like, there's, yeah. So if Jewish people are all over the world and the Jewish people aren't really into what Israel is doing, then what is Israel? And if you listen to some scholars, Israel is a settler colonial project. It's colonialism. It's a colonial project. It's an ethno state. It's the state they tried to make over here in the United States. That is Israel. If you're Arab and you live in Israel, you are a second-class citizen. By design. So the hang up that it's a Muslim Jewish thing is incorrect, or like that's wrong framing. That's the wrong framing. It's not a religious thing at all. It's a race thing. It's a race thing. There are way more Arab people than there are Jewish people who live in it. And if all the people who are living in refugee camps came back to their homes in that had been taken over by Israel, then Jewish people in Israel would become a minority. So they don't. And then so you're like, well, what's the problem? Right? What's the problem? So I used to live in Japan. I lived in Nara. I was there in like 2004 to 2007. And I remember going to Nara City and like walking along the back roads, the back parts of Nara City, where it was a lot quieter, but it was like more authentically like old school, like more. I don't know if I have pictures of it, but yeah, and it was really quiet and nice. Well, apparently now, I guess nowadays, like 20 years, like however many years later, it's like super crowded with foreigners, because it's like a tourist destination now. And so all these foreigners arrive to check it out, which is great, right, for the economy. But the people who live there now, like the Japanese people who live there now are like, yeah, the quiet life is gone, I guess. Well, that doesn't like stop Japaneseness from coming out, from being there. It's not going to stop being Japan just because a bunch of tourists show up. But it may not necessarily be the same as it was before. All right, what else do I got? Chuck Grassley, Confederates, cultists. Dangerous to be anti-Zionist. He was set to play Santa. His views on the Middle East got in the way. Ken Dorff has grown out his white beard, but a tense discussion of the Israeli-Hamas war at a local synagogue led to complaints that cost him the gig. Do I have the rest of the story? No. But yeah, dude, just one more on the pile. Like, I think there's a misconception. Like, I don't know. Yeah, there's a misconception. There's an attempt to equate the Jewish people with the Israeli government, the state of Israel, and you can't do it. You can't equate the two. They're not the same thing. That's a false equivalence. And who loves false equivalence? Fascists. Oh, in that video, that guy was trying to make a false equivalence between Donald Trump's impeachment and the impeachment that the Republicans want to do, but they can't. I mean, they're not equivalent. They're not at all equivalent. It's so stupid. They've achieved nothing. Like, they can't even get a real budget passed. They only have a continuing resolution until January. And in the meantime, did they pass a budget? No, they moved to do a political thing. For pure politics. It's not going to help anybody to do this. Dude. Oh. What's this? Oh yeah, day one. Okay. Israel attacks journalists.
Olası bir hareketlenmeye karşı da
Oh no. So yeah, dude, so that's the thing, dude. Israel's just like, there's no freedom of the press. There's no nothing. They beat this guy. They're gonna like beat him up later on. I don't have the part where they beat him up fully, but they get pretty rough in this part. But I shouldn't be showing this stuff, dude. I don't want to show this stuff. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, this guy. Al Jazeera journalist Wael Dahoud, whose wife and children were killed in October, was just shot by Israeli forces and has been hospitalized. So they murdered his wife and his kids to get him to stop reporting on their crimes. This is by Dr. Omar Suleiman. He didn't stop, and now they shot him. So yeah, Israel has like been killing people all over the place. Journalists. I just heard they killed a French government worker. They're just killing people, man. They're just killing all sorts of people. They're doing a genocide, and they don't want people to look. And the United States is complicit. So I want to get back to this one. This is a funny one. From Adam Costco. What is your favorite tech invention? Illegal cab company. Illegal. That's Uber or Lyft. Why is it illegal? Because they can get around all the regulations that were put on cab companies. Because they say, oh yeah, we're not cabs, so we don't have to do all those like union stuff and pay all those fees and whatnot. Okay, illegal hotel chain. What is that? Airbus, Airbnb. Airbnb, right? Oh, we're just gonna get random people's houses and spaces and say it's like, yeah, there's no like regulation, no nothing, but we don't have to pay all the taxes and regulations for it. And okay, fake money for criminals, cryptocurrency. Like cryptocurrency is stupid. Cryptocurrency is dumb. Like the whole point of it is to avoid taxes and accountability. Like who's the only people who needs to not to keep their transactions secret? Criminals. Like you still have cash if you like want to just do stuff, but like it's not so convenient when you're talking millions of dollars and your shit's super criminal, so you don't want a record of anything. So, or plagiarism machine, that's AI. Because all AI does is just rip off, like troll the web, suck up all the stuff, and then spit it out again. But doesn't credit the people who like made it. It's just super smart. No, dude, you just like ate up everyone's like creativity and claimed it for yourself. So that's funny. It's like dystopian. Like wah wah wah. Donald Trump will eat you. Gun control legislation by support. Yeah, like Americans still can't figure it out. You know, everyone agrees, dude. These are basic stuff we can do to stop gun violence. Increase mental health funding. Everyone believes we should do that. Require background checks for private and gun show sales. 83%. Vast majority of us agree we should do this. Create a national red flag law. Big chunk of Americans agree we should do this. Require a license before gun purchase. Big chunk of Americans agree we should do this. Ban the sale of high capacity magazines. Big, like significant chunk of Americans agree we should do this. Ban the sale of semi-automatic weapons. Like a majority of Americans agree we should do this. Create a mandatory assault weapon buyback program. It's like 50-50. 45% say we should do it, and 46% say we should not do it. I say we should do it. Australia did it, and it worked really good. Yeah. I mean, because if you try to do an armed insurrection in the United States, you're not going to be facing off against the Uvalde cops. You're going to be facing off against the U.S. military. So it's going to be a little bit different. Like, so assault weapons aren't going to help you to fight off a tyrannical government. That's just dumb. That's just crazy. It's just gonna help people do terrorism. And what happens every time is that cartels get contacts with people up in America, in the United States, to sell them weapons. And so Mexico has a huge problem with cartels because of the fucking weapons that Americans provide them. Like it's America's gun problem is Mexico's gun problem, is what I'm saying. America's drug problem is Mexico's drug problem. Okay. Poor Mexico. For real. All right. Allowed school teachers to carry guns. Majority say no. I say no. That's so stupid. You don't solve gun problem by putting in more guns. That's just dumb. Study after study shows The more guns, the more gun deaths. It doesn't matter. That's just what it is. The more guns, the more gun deaths. If you have guns, you're going to have gun deaths. When you take out guns, gun deaths disappear. Or just about disappear. And there's not a significant increase in other kind of deaths. Like maybe the knife attack rate will go up, and maybe more people will die to knife attacks, but not to the level that people were dying to gun violence. And Americans agree. Americans agree. It's not like it's a fucking crazy thing that I'm talking about. Most Americans agree on a majority of this, at least 4 of them. Right? At least 5. Increased mental health funding, background checks, red flag law, require a license, no high capacity magazines, ban the sale of semi-automatic weapons. Oh shit, no, bolt action only. That would be crazy. Only sell bolt action. Or revolvers. Is revolver semi-automatic? No. Kinda. I don't know. I'm not a gun guy. I don't know. So why can't we get this done? Why can't it get done? Why can't we pass any legislation that addresses it? Because white supremacy. The Republicans block it. Block any attempt to regulate firearms. What else do I got? I think that's it. I think I'm at my end. All right, so be aware. They're still trying to overthrow the government. They haven't stopped. They're gonna try again. Like, I'm gonna show you that clip from last week again, or even before, because it's important that you hear him give a command. He literally gives a command to his people. At 20 seconds. He literally gives a command to his people. And it's the same command that he did the last time, which is go to a place to get ready for violence.
And millions of votes. It's a very sad thing. So the most important part of
you get it, see?
What's coming up is to guard the vote. And you should go into Detroit, and you should go into Philadelphia, and you should go into some of these places, Atlanta.
Detroit. So you should go into these places. Detroit, Philadelphia, Atlanta. These are key. So Donald Trump and the Russians have identified key points in our electoral system that are like pivots. And he's attacking them. These are like joints in the armor that they're picking at.
And you should go into some of these places, and we got to watch those votes when they come in.
So when he says, quote, quote, watch those votes, what he means is assemble a mob and prepare, get ready for violence, because he's going to have Republican operatives in the crowd who when the signal is given will command the crowd to incite the crowd and to do violence, just like they did in January 6th. It's the same play. He's doing the same play. And remember, it's not even a new play, because that's what Roger Stone did back in the year 2000. So just so you know, guys, it's not I want you to be aware. Be aware of his next attempt at trying to overthrow the government and the Constitution. See it for yourself. Don't don't rely just on me. Look for yourself. You can see it. I've given you lots of evidence. And if you need to go digging for more, you can go do it. So, all right. Until next time. Peace. Pogo Kiddo out. Stop.